If there's any background noise, the machine is going, so don't mind that. Howdy guys, welcome back if you've been here before, but if you're new, welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to be talking to you guys about my August reading wrap up, and we're also going to do my September TBR. So I don't really know how I can describe my reading month this month. It was okay. It was so so we're just gonna talk about it. The first book I read in the month of August was The Retribution of Mara Dyer, which is the third book in the Unbecoming of Mara Dyer trilogy. That was a lot. I'm not gonna lie, this trilogy fell off for me. It started off strong. The first book, I was in it. It was great. It was so easy to read, quick. And then I didn't have book 2 and 3, so I honestly just kind of figured, I'm just like, yeah, I'm just never gonna read this series, I guess. I just basically decided that I wasn't going to read the rest of the series, and then one day I just randomly walked into Barnes and they were there. And I was like, this is a sign, I need to finish reading this series, and I was very interested. I think it would have been way better if I would have read it back to back to back. So, I don't know, I didn't even really give it a rating. I just said, I don't know. So we have Done and Dusted. I was very disappointed by it. It was so underwhelming. I don't know why everyone loves this book. This book was the epitome of like copying and pasting every other like book trope or like from any romance, and it's like the author just copy and pasted it into her book. Whoa. What is going on? Like the author just copy and pasted it into her book, and she didn't even try to make it unique or anything. And the couple was supposed to be like enemies to lovers, but they hated each other for approximately 2 chapters. It was ridiculous. It was just very bad. I didn't like it. Yeah, I don't get the hype about this one, but I actually forget the characters' names because it was just so insignificant to me and I didn't really care. But this book follows a girl and a guy. The classic. But anyways, the girl, like, she became like this like rider. Is it a bull rider or horse rider? She like became a famous animal rider, and an incident happened to her, and so like she kind of was taking a break. She randomly shows back up in her hometown, and no one really like knows she's supposed to be there. And the best friend of her brother, so her brother's best friend and also the guy that she's hated for since forever, is like working at the bar that she was at one night when she came back, and you know, they're just doing their thing. I don't even know the plot of this book. Like, I'm trying to tell you what it's about, but I don't even know what it's about because in my head it didn't really even have a storyline. But anyways, it was just cowboy smut, and I guess everyone's been obsessing over it since, you know, everyone's been reading the Chestnut Hill Spring series, and I think this book was very subpar. So that's how I feel about it. I continued a series by Becca Mack. It's a sports romance series. So I read Play With Me and Unravel Me. I read these at different times of the month, but I'm just gonna talk about them together. And they're all hockey romances, and they're interconnected standalones. They follow a friend group, and each guy gets their own book. And Play With Me follows Garrett and what was her name? Oh my god, I definitely know her name. It's Garrett and Carter's little sister, and Carter is like the main guy from book 1, and he's also Garrett's friend and teammate. So, you know, it gives like brother's little sister trope, so forbidden in that sense. Carter's little sister ends up moving into the same apartment building as Garrett, and Carter's like, hey, can you just like look after my sister, you know, take care of her. Jenny and Garrett, they basically like form this friendship, and it's really sweet. She's like a dancer, and he's, you know, a hockey player, and he's kind of like the playboy, like, but also like golden retriever type at the same time. All the boys in the series give golden retriever, which is like pretty refreshing towards romances. And I felt like their relationship was really cute because I didn't really like love Consider Me. I honestly DNF'd it because it was just so unbearably long, and they got together so quickly. This one, they didn't get together to like way further in the book, and I feel like we were able to build like their relationship actually built throughout the book. It wasn't like they just got together. It took them time to get together, which I really appreciated, and I really liked their relationship, and I thought it was really cute. I gave that one a 4.25 stars. And then I read Unravel Me after that, and this one follows Adam, and I think her name is Rosie, and Adam is another guy on the team. He's like a sweet another sweet golden retriever 7-year-old type of boy, and he kind of like, he's always been like looking for love. He meets Rosie because they both have like dogs and they meet in a dog park. It's kind of like, I don't want to say love at first sight, but like interest. Like it's kind of like I knew you're the one from first sight kind of thing. But there still is development with their relationship. It was pretty cute. It was pretty like no conflict type of book. It was fairly cute. There's another trope in here, but I feel like it kind of happens a little bit later when you find out. Not later in the book, but I think it's a nice surprise. So I'm not gonna tell you what it is. One's cute as well, but I didn't love it as much as Play With Me, and I thought it did the same thing as Consider Me, where it just got too long. I give this book 3.75 stars. And then moving on, I read Love Theoretically for my reading on vacation vlog. It's up on my channel somewhere if you want to watch it and see like all my in-depth thoughts on this. But I really enjoyed this one. It's another banger by Ali Hazelwood, and it follows Elsie and Jack, and they are both scientists. Obviously, Elsie is a theoretical physicist, but right now she has a job as a professor, so she's really not making that much money. And a way for her to make money on the side before she gets like her dream job is to fake date. So she's a professional fake dater. You know, she gets paid to be somebody's fake girl. One of her fake boyfriends, like her current fake boyfriend at the time, ends up being Jack's little brother. And her and Jack, they never get along. Like ever since, you know, Jack's brother introduced her to the fam, they've never gotten along. So they're kind of just always button heads, and turns out the person she's competing with for her new job is like an employee under Jack. So she's like, oh my god, I have to compete with somebody who's close to Jack. This is not going to work. So you get a little bit of, I wouldn't say really enemies to lovers, kind of just like, because I don't even think enemies to lovers really works in a rom-com. They're kind of like rivals. I don't know. But it's really cute. I really enjoyed it. I give this one 4.5 stars. And then also for that vlog, I read The House Across the Lake by Riley Sager. This is another disappointment. I just want to find a thriller that I love, okay? I just want to find a thriller that I love. I haven't given like a thriller like a really high rating and super long, but this one was a really popular one. I never read a Riley Sager book before, so I said, hey, why not? And to be honest, I wish I never read it. I don't really want to talk more about this book because it is a thriller, so I want to kind of keep like as much as you know, like as bare minimum, but it's kind of like Rear Window vibes, The Woman in Window vibes, like that. Like I know how both of those stories go, so it wasn't that different. Like it had some different things added to it, but wasn't that different of a story. So that was kind of disappointing, and I wasn't really intrigued in it. Like even though there was twists in each, like almost each chapter kind of ended in some twist, I was just mainly confused. It wasn't even like, oh, what? Like I was just confused. I was just like, what the hell is going on? And he was doing twist after twist after twist at the end, and I was just like, this is just getting ridiculous. Those are my thoughts on House Across the Lake. I gave it 3 stars, but honestly I could bump it down to like 2. I think I gave 3 to be nice. I don't know why I gave it 3. I would say 2. I did not really enjoy myself that. I read For the Fans by Nyla K. So this book was actually super intimidating because it's like literally like 700-800 pages. I read the whole thing and I ate it up, and I actually don't remember the characters in this one, which sucks, but this book is an MM romance, and it follows our 2 main characters. I think his name was Avi, and I forget the names, but it follows these 2 guys. They're step siblings. What are you doing, step bro? But Avi's mom gets married to the other boy's dad, Jesus Christ, and then they become step siblings, and they kind of like clash from the start because they're just like so different. Like one is like a football player, you know, jock kind of dude, and the other is like kind of artsy and edgy, like doesn't really care about school, smokes all the time. So they're kind of like, they're different. They have different like family upbringings and pressures. It like starts with them in like high school, like when they first became like step siblings, and then like you get like a few years of them younger, and you just see like where the animosity between them began. And then they're in like, they're in their sophomore year of college. I'm pretty sure that something happens with their dad and money. Like they used to have money, and he's like, guys, we have no fucking money anymore. He's like, yo, like he finds out that his best friend is doing OnlyFans, and she's making some bank, and she's able to like pay for off-campus housing for herself. And he's like, yo, I need to do that. Like I need to start making money. So he starts his OnlyFans, and him and his best friend, they're just like, yo, like, we're doing the thing, we're doing OnlyFans. And his best friend, she suggests one day, she's like, yo, we should do a threesome with another guy. People will be so into that, like, you and another guy. And they're like, what other guy? And then Avi thinks of his stepbrother. Weird thing to think about. But they do the threesome. All the fans loved, like, the banter and attention between Avi and his stepbrother. So they were like, oh, y'all should just make your own content. So that Avi goes to his stepbrother, like, we should make our own content for OnlyFans. And that's basically when the story really, like, picks up. The point is that Avi and his stepbrother decide to do OnlyFans together. It was very freaking good. Spice was spicing. And I don't know, I really like this book. It was fun. And like it showed like their journey, like handling like their sexuality and all that stuff. So that was really cool. And the forbiddenness of them being step-siblings. And it was just so secret. But like at the same time, it wasn't, because the best friend knew, but it was really cute. Oh, I gave it 4.25 stars because at the end of the day, it was cringy at times. Like there were times it was extremely cringe and I was cringing a little bit. The book I read was Weak Side. I do not know the author of this book and I'm not gonna look it up because I'm lazy. I don't even know the premise. I don't remember the premise. I'm gonna be so honest. This book was just not good to me. I thought it was super cringe and I felt like it was badly cheesy. Like not cheesy like, oh, like it's fun cheesy. Like it was just extremely cheesy. And that's the thing with these hockey romances, they all be following the same plot line, and that's why I can't stick with them. And so yeah, I give this book like 2.75 stars. Didn't really like it that much. Next, I read The Hunt. I also do not know the author of this book, but this one is a why choose bully romance kind of, but they're not bullying her present day, like they bullied her in the past. And I don't know. Okay, so the girl, she was like best friends with one of the guys, and then they had a falling out and then her parents died, you know, all that crap. So then he started bullying her along with his two friends. So they're her bullies, you know, classic romance fairy tale. You know, that weird bullying trope where it's like, oh, we bully her because we don't want anyone else to have her, because we want her all to ourselves. And yeah, basically that's all it is. It's pretty short. It was pretty simple, pretty like, you know, simple I choose. I gave it 3.5 stars. It wasn't anything special. Could have been 3 stars. I'm gonna change that to 3 stars. Lastly, which was the book I was anticipating the most, and that is God of Ruin by Rena Kent. I liked this book. Now, I didn't love it as much as the last 3, but I didn't hate it. I just don't think it was my favorite out of this series, but I love this series, and I can't really talk about it much because it's the 4th book in this series. This book follows Landon King and our main character Mia, and they are like, Landon's a psychopath pretty much, basically, kind of, but like he didn't seem as psychopathish as like he kind of was supposed to from the other books. Like he seemed like softer, like way softer. Like I definitely think Jeremy was way more crazier, and Killian for sure was crazier than Landon, at least in his book. Like I was really just eating up the Brandon and Nikolai crumbs, so I'm so excited for God of Fury. But anyways, I don't know, this one was very much okay. Like nothing was really keeping me like super invested, truly. So I gave it 3.5 stars. That was it for all the books I read in August. I'm going to talk about the books that I want to read in the month of September. First, I have the Infernal Devices series by Cassandra Clare. And this series I kind of want to read later in September probably, but I wanted to read in love with these, so I really want to make this happen. If I don't, crucify me, I don't know. Probably, if I don't, definitely October, but I definitely want to make this happen before the end of October. I've heard great things about this series. I heard the plot is really intriguing. I heard it's super fun, and the love triangle is like some people's favorite love triangle ever, and people love the characters. I think you get really attached to the characters. So I'm really excited to read these, and I love the covers, and I love how floppy the books are. Like everything about this book just screams yes, and the font is like pretty decent size. So yeah, I'm really excited to get to this series and pick this up and read it. And I just want to be in on the know. I want to be in on the know, you know what I'm saying? Like I am the biggest FOMO girly out there. I'm the biggest one. So want to read these, and I also haven't read a physical book in such a long time, so I want to read these. That's like number one priority. And then another book I know I'm reading right away is Things We Left Behind by Lucy Score. I'm so excited for this one. This is Lucian's story, Lucian and Sloan, I'm pretty sure, and I'm really excited for this one. I think this is the one that everyone's been waiting for. So this is the third book in the Knockabout series, and it's really good. Small town, a lot of things going on. We got fun family. I love these books, and I'm so excited to read this one and to be back in this little series that Lucy Score has created. I really like it. Lastly, I have Daughter of No Worlds. This book is also on my radar for September. I'm really keeping an eye out because yeah, I really want to finish. I really want to read this book and before October, or at least before like deep into October. This book follows Tasana, and I think she's like a slave assassin. In the beginning of the book, I think she's a slave, and I think she's like an assassin too, and she's like being trained. It's very much like Throne of Glass vibes, I've heard, and I'm pretty sure this one's like more heavier on the fantasy than her other series, Crown of Metaxia. That was my August wrap up and my September TBR. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope you stick around for more, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Happy fun reading. Bye bye.